Welcome to the Vol Bros, presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother Rustin, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. As always, we are very appreciative of the Ooltewah Club for being the title sponsor of our show. Strongly recommend everybody getting out there. They got a lot of fun stuff coming up. The calendar is totally full. Tons of activities for the whole family. Strongly recommend you visiting the Ooltewah Club and checking out everything they have to offer. For the folks already in the comments, welcome. We are glad you're with us. Mina Laki said she was the first person to hit the thumbs up. We appreciate that, Mina Laki. We're glad you're with us. Elijah, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, "How's it going, bros?" in chat. Good to have you, man. And Mississippi Vol, welcome. Great to have you. He said, "Good Friday Eve, bros." Absolutely. And chat family. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. Tennessee Athletics are having a good week. Baseball team is doing really well. Jonathan, good to have you, buddy. He said, "Good afternoon, Evan and Rustin and everyone else." First order of business tonight, though. Obviously, some big news for a VFL today. Joe Milton is on his way to Dallas to be a Cowboy. He will be Dak Prescott's backup quarterback. So a lot of people say best job ever, backup quarterback in the NFL, because you just stand there holding the clipboard and not getting hit, and you're getting paid pretty good money to do that. So, Rustin, what do you think about that fit for Joe being at the Cowboys? Are you excited for him? What do you think?
I mean, anytime you are a priority for a team in the NFL, that's a good sign. It means you're going to stick. You've got a roster spot. The Cowboys clearly made him a priority. They've already made it known that he's going to be their backup. They weren't shy about where he was on the totem pole. They said he was their fourth choice. They fell short on their first three, so he was number 4, and that one went through. But the fact that he has that much specificity and knows that, they had a very specific plan, they know what they want to do with that backup spot. That's a huge win for him. So it's you look at Josh Dobbs. How many times has he kicked around from team to team, and you never know if he's the backup or the practice squad guy. But Joe Milton knows beyond a shadow of a doubt he is the backup. Like, they've already made that statement. So that's great for him.
So he'll get a lot of playing time in the preseason. And then, like I said, he gets to stand there on the sideline for most of the games and not get hit and collect a pretty nice paycheck. So that doesn't stink. Not a bad gig. Not a bad gig at all.
He's backing up Dak Prescott, so he could be in by week 2. That dude's a walking injury.
And walking turnover. Dak likes throwing the ball to the other team a little bit. Coach, they were wide open. VFL in Texas, good to have you, buddy. Glad you're with us. Let's see here. Mr. Osborne, welcome. Glad you're with us. He said, "Hello, Volbros and chat family. Hope everyone's doing well." Absolutely. Let's see. Mina Leggy said 4th option. Yeah, it's like Donnie Tyndall with Tennessee basketball when that happened. Let's see. Mississippi Vol said, "Not sure if any of you have seen it yet, but if you haven't, it's well worth your time to check out the Mike Keith show. 2 episodes so far have been fantastic." Agreed. They had an episode come out today about 5 hours ago, and it had John Gruden and Tony Vitello on it, and a pretty big announcement actually for Tennessee football this year. Ramon Foster is going to be calling games with Mike Keith.
It's funny that, we go in basketball, and football from Bob Kessling, the man with little to no emotion, to Mike Keith and Ramon Foster in the box together. They're going to have to reinforce the microphones.
Yeah. It's going to be a different vibe on Vol Network this fall for sure. I think you're going to have a lot of people tuning in to hear those two guys. Jonathan said, I wish it was somewhere other than the Cowboys. I can't stand them, but he will probably play because Dak can't stay off on the field. Jonathan's correct. He is correct. I'm happy for Joe because, I mean, let's be honest. If you're backing up Dak, there is a pretty good shot that you're going to be on the field quite a bit because Dak, over the last 2 or 3 seasons, has been very interception prone. And so it'll be interesting to see just how much playing time Joe gets out in Dallas. Let's see here. Rhonda, good to have you, Rhonda. She said, hope everyone is well. We had some storms come through. Yes, I'm so glad you said that to all the people across, especially Western Tennessee and Central Tennessee. We hope you are okay this evening. Some of the photos and videos that are coming out of the tornadoes on the ground and circulating are just, jaw dropping. It is some powerful, powerful storms coming through there. To the people in Selmer, Tennessee, we hope you are okay. We certainly understand the devastation that comes with a tornado. Our childhood home was totally destroyed by the tornado in April of 2020. So we understand that completely. We hope everybody's okay. Greg, welcome, buddy. Good to have you with us this evening. He said, evening, bro. Sad about Avery Strickland leaving. I did not know that. Did you know that?
She announced tonight that she's going to be a grad transfer.
I did not see that. Well, I learned every day. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate that.
Which really says 2 things. Number one, kudos to Kim for not cutting all the players who didn't fit her system. She let them all stay, play the year. And what it also says is you don't tell people to enter the portal unless you already know who you're filling their spot with. So it tells me that Kim Caldwell's been extremely active in the portal. She already knows who's coming and needed a spot.
Well, and let's not forget, the Lady Vols had quite a nice representation and showing at the McDonald's All-American game.
Yeah.
So that was very exciting to see. Robert, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said Milton's a better quarterback than Prescott. I mean, we'll see. Dak certainly hasn't had his best years as of late. And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Mr. Osborne said, looking forward to Ramon Foster joining Mike Keith. Yep. Rhonda mentioned that Ramon is joining him as well. That was a big time announcement today. That's going to be not must see TV, but must listen radio. That's what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi Vol said that's going to be an all-star lineup with Swain, Brent, and Ramon to go along with Mike. Yeah, he's exactly right. Because that's another thing they did announce today. Brent Hubbs and Jason Swain will still be on the broadcast as well. So, I mean, that's a stout lineup. You're right. That is a stout lineup. Let's see. Jonathan said he just saw it a few minutes ago that Strickland was leaving. He hates that. Yeah, I mean, she gave 110% effort, man. Like she was fun to see out there. Rhonda said, what do you think Coach Barnes will do? He's staying. He's already announced he is going to return.
Is that what she's referring to, or is she referring to the portal? Because right now I have significant concerns about the portal and men's basketball.
Well, go ahead. Let's talk about that then. I may have misunderstood.
We're going to get Jacoby Gillespie. That's been a foregone conclusion. When I said we already had 2 the other night, that included him. So, Jacoby Gillespie will be a Vol. The kid from Lincoln Memorial will most likely be a Vol. So there's 2. We have 3 high school kids coming in. Now you're at 5. We have 4 current players returning. Now you're at 9. That means we still have 3 open spots. And if we want to, 5 open spots for transfer portal. And just to be candid, there's not 3 guys in the portal that'll help us. McNeely would have been about one of the only ones. And with him going to Louisville tonight, there's not much left. So right now, it ain't looking great. If we can, by my opinion, or in my opinion, you got two options, and one of them is something I don't think Rick Barnes would do. One option is you can start tampering and you can start approaching kids on existing rosters and try and get them in the portal. I don't think Rick Barnes would do that. The other one is you start rating all the Polish and Lithuanian national teams and start trying to figure out who in the international game has college eligibility left. I'm serious. Like, this is hey, Santiago Vescovi, give me all your contacts in Croatia and Lithuania and Serbia and Uruguay and everywhere else. Because we got to find 2 or 3 dudes that have some eligibility. Because it's thin. There's not much in the portal. The guys who are in the portal, it's an enormous amount of people with baggage who aren't very good. I mean, it's weird how many really good players did not jump in the portal this year.
Elijah said, I heard the BaseVols are in the running for the Notre Dame guard that everyone thought was going to go pro. She is in the running, or they are in the running, yes. Greg said, Strickland leaving have anything to do with Cooper returning?
2 totally separate issues.
Yeah, I don't think so, just because, I mean, Cooper played over her this year, so like that wouldn't have been news to her, you know.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Jonathan asked a similar question. Sam said he saw photos from Martin, Tennessee, where they had baseball-sized hail. Holy moly. Baseball-sized hail. That's intense. Wow. That's incredible. Like he said, they're either going to have to poach players or pray that some come. And then she said, pray or pray. That's good. I like that. Miss Seaval said, I know one thing. I didn't envision this weekend series with A&M looking like this. Talk about the bottom falling out. Yeah, we're actually about to talk about that. Let's see. Elijah said he's seeing rumors that we're also in the conversation for Carey from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the portal. That's another one with baggage. I think Mark Byington is a really good coach. And the fact that Jalen Carey, I was actually just looking this up, he finished the season averaging 8 points and 5.5 rebounds a game. He averaged 20 minutes a game, but in their last 3 games, he averaged 14 to 15 minutes. So they were starting as the season was ending, they were taking his minutes away, which tells me that he was probably an issue in the locker room. They kind of knew he probably was going in the portal, and they started removing his minutes late in the season and giving them to guys that were playing harder, to be candid. I don't see that being a kid that Tennessee is going to want. I don't see a kid like that doing well with Rick Barnes.
Jonathan said, it sounds like the men's team might rotate 9 like this season, or maybe a miracle happens and some of the seniors can come back from this year. I just don't see how they could.
We don't have 9 to rotate. The 2 of the 3 freshmen are projects. They're not immediate impact. They're guys who are probably going to redshirt.
Well, so that'll be something to keep an eye on. Turning our attention to baseball, Tuesday night, the BaseVols continue to just dominate. They did beat Tennessee Tech. Herb said, hey, welcome, Herb. Good to have you. He said, is Rice from Maryland coming with Gillespie? I have not yet heard that name.
I don't think so. I think I would be very surprised.
So Tennessee baseball beats Tennessee Tech 7-1. Really nice games for a couple folks that don't normally get on the field. Rustin, any thoughts about that game before we talk about this weekend?
When does Blake Grimmer become part of the everyday lineup?
Fair question.
The dude's had 14 at-bats total and hit 5 home runs. Like, at some point, you got to give him a shot.
And it was his first at. I'm trying to remember. It was his first at bat Tuesday night, wasn't it? When he hit the. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was funny after that. I may have actually been Vol Baseball. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. But somebody tweeted out, and I think it was Vol Baseball that says Blake just hits home runs. That's all he does. And I mean, they were kind of right. That's all he does. I mean, at some point, you got to say, it's kind of hard to take this guy's bat out of the lineup. So this weekend, you think he gets some playing time this weekend?
I don't know how you keep him out of the lineup. I mean, the guy just keeps producing. They gave him a chance. He went 2 for 4 with a bomb. He's got something like in those 14 at-bats, he's either got 8 or 9 hits, and 5 of them are bombs. I mean, it's ridiculous. The guy hits everything.
Mississippi Vol said, I agree, Russ. The Grim Reaper is tearing the cover off the ball. He sure is. Elijah said this team is just too loaded. There's not enough room for all these guys. What a nice problem to have, right? Absolutely. Matt said, go Mox, baby. Absolutely. For sure. The alma mater. Super excited for UTC's basketball team playing in the NIT National Championship tonight. Looking forward to seeing what happens with them.
So to his earlier question about Rodney Rice, Villanova people are reporting that he's coming to Villanova with Kevin Willard.
This weekend, Tennessee hosts Texas A&M. Now, obviously, when this series was scheduled before the season, people were circling it on their calendars because this was a rematch of the National Championship Series from last year. So everybody had this series circled in their calendars. Then, right before the season starts, you've got Texas A&M ranked preseason number 1, and people start circling it even more on their calendars. And then the season started, and things went downhill in a hurry for Texas A&M. They are currently really, really struggling, not just in conference play, just overall, but especially in conference play. And quite honestly, Tennessee should sweep them this weekend, if we're being totally honest. The 3 game times, we have a normal weekend series. They got their, Thursday through Saturday series out of the way already. So we have a regular Friday through Sunday series this weekend. Friday night on ESPNU, so you don't have to watch it on the Watch ESPN app or on SEC Network Plus. This weekend on ESPNU tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Then Saturday's game is an SEC Network Plus, so Watch ESPN app game. That's at 6 p.m. Saturday night. And then in the afternoon finale on Sunday, 3 o'clock p.m., back on ESPN2. So 2 of the 3 games are going to be nationally televised on regular television, not on the Watch ESPN app. So tomorrow night, ESPNU, 7 o'clock. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, SEC Network Plus, so ESPN app. And then Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m., ESPN2. Rustin, what do you want to see out of the BaseVols this weekend against Texas A&M?
Honestly, they're not any good. They're 14-14. They're 1-8 in the conference. Team batting average is 267, which is terrible. Their team GPA is a little misleading. Overall, it's 3.94. But
ERA.
Yeah, what'd I say?
You said GPA.
Yeah. Team ERA is a 3.94. But
which, hey, if that was their GPA, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But that's a little misleading because of two of their relievers who have thrown a lot of innings have extremely low ERAs, and it's skewing the numbers. Their starters have actually, including Ryan Prager, Their starters have been hit pretty hard. Prager's given up 17 runs in 7 appearances. He's given up 5 home runs in 7 appearances. Last year, he was unhittable. People have figured him out. And, their pitching staff, 2 of their top 5 pitchers are out for the year. So that doesn't help either. They lost 2 of their top 5 arms. 2 of their top hitters are done for the year, both with season-ending injuries. Like, they're just not very good. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we sweep them. I wouldn't be surprised if they allow run rules. I wouldn't be surprised if we run rule them 2 out of 3.
Jonathan agrees with you. He said he thinks we should run rule them at least once, if not twice.
They're not very good, and they are imploding. They're progressively getting worse.
So Elijah said, I wonder if that one guy going down for A&M has anything to do with how bad they've been. He had to be that glue guy that held the whole team together. So Elijah's referring to their third baseman.
Yeah,
I cannot think of his name, but I know it starts with a G.
Gavin Grahovac.
See, there you go.
It's not just him. They lost they lost 2 of their top 5 hitters. They lost 2 of their top. I mean, you might make a case 2 of their top 3 pitchers. Most people say it's 2 of their top 5, but I mean, one of them was a starter. When you lose that kind of talent and all 4 of them for the entire year, it's hard to recover.
Absolutely. Jonathan said the win over Tennessee Tech was nice. They seem to always play us stuff. They sure do. They broke the undefeated season 2 years ago. I always root for Tech except against the Vols since I live about 30 minutes from Tech. That's awesome. That's cool. And, Hunter High's brother currently pitches for Tennessee Tech. So we got a Vol connection there. Herb has asked a fantastic question. I'm going to add to this because I think this is a really good question. Herb said, when Gavin Keelan gets back, with the way Antigua is currently playing defense at shortstop, who are we taking out? He said, say at least 2 weeks away because he's probably DHing this weekend, and that takes the bat out of Dalton, who's on fire. Team is loaded. So here's my thing.
Dalton's
question
going to be in the lineup somewhere. He'll be in left field somewhere. He will be in the lineup. He ain't coming out.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball really well. Probably the best he's been since at Tennessee so far.
Yeah. I would say Manny Marin comes out of the lineup and probably goes to DH when Keelan's back in the field.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I would understand if you want to DH him maybe 2 of the 3 games this weekend just to kind of get him back in the flow of things. But I certainly don't think we'll see him in the field this weekend because I don't think they're going to need him. Like, that's the thing. Like, you might can try to, sneak in and steal a few at bats with him to like get him in the, moving a little bit. But what's crazy to say is I don't think we're going to need him that much this weekend.
So there's also there's another thought process here. It is his hamstring. You might not want him to DH because there's a lot of downtime in between at bats. That's an opportunity for that hamstring to tighten back up. You almost want him to be in the field so that he's constantly moving, he's staying loose, and that thing doesn't have a chance to tighten.
Yep. Sam said at minimum he would bring Blake Grimmer in to DH in the 9th inning, at least get a plate appearance. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, put the bat in the dude's hand. Like, he just hits it out of the ballpark. That's all he does. It's pretty sweet. Elijah said Prager for A&M was really good last year. I wonder what happened. He was very good. He took it to us a little bit last year too.
Because of scholarship limitations, when you lose, we're a little spoiled. When one of our guys goes down with an injury, we replace them with All-Americans. Everybody else doesn't do that. So when your 2 of your top 5 hitters go down with injury, several things happen. Number one, you don't get as much run support. Grahovac was actually a really good third baseman as well. So they lost
Yes, he
some
was.
defense. They lost some defense when that injury happened. And, it's
I mean, dude was an All-American. Like, he
yeah,
was legit.
defense matters, especially if you're a ground ball pitcher, which Prager is. And then the other thing that happens is, a guy like Jace Lavalette all of a sudden doesn't hit as well because those two dudes aren't around him in the lineup anymore. So he's not as protected.
Exactly.
You can pitch around him, and all of a sudden your run production goes down a little bit. Now you're looking at a team that isn't scoring as much, maybe isn't as good defensively, and as a pitcher, you're going, I only allowed 5 runs. That should have been good enough to get the win, and it's not. So, that's a lot of what he's dealing with.
Braden said, welcome, Braden. Good to have you, buddy. He said, baseball still rolling. Absolutely. Also for the foot vols, heard Nico connected on several deep shots in the scrimmage, and also heard Travis Smith Jr. balled out and had a big night too. Travis Smith was actually mentioned by name by Josh Heupel. It's always a good sign. I mean, you got to be excited for the football team making a lot of moves, especially on the coaching staff this year for the football team. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. VFL in Texas said the reason they're different is because they lost their head coach because Schlossnagle went to Texas.
I don't know if that's the deal, because they got the coach they wanted. Michael Early was the hitting coach on this team last year. He's who all the players wanted. When Schloss hit the road in the middle of the night and didn't tell anybody, all the players politicked for Early to be the guy, and it hadn't really worked. And sometimes there's lots of people out there that are really good assistants and really bad head coaches. It may be that scenario.
Absolutely. So, Rustin, I love this comment because you're exactly right. Manny Marin, you're right, is the guy that's going to be coming out of the lineup. And how crazy, Herb makes a fantastic point. How crazy is it that a future first round draft pick is going to be removed from the lineup because we have players better than him ready to go?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we are crazy loaded with talent, so deep. That's a great point, Herb. I'm glad you said that. Mississippi Vols said, speaking of A&M, did any of you notice that brouhaha that Michael Early and Nick Mangione got into on Sunday? Kentucky was trying to get that curfew rule in, and A&M wasn't having it. Was that what you were referencing when we talked about Sunday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if the situation had been reversed, A&M would have been doing the exact same thing as Kentucky.
A&M struggling for wins. A&M struggling for wins so badly right now. They almost would probably like to have a curfew in every game, so they can try and play to it and get a couple.
Herb asked, how close was Grahovac and Jace Lavalette into coming to Tennessee?
They weren't.
Rhonda said, Rustin, I like the picture behind you way better than the curtains from last week. Yeah, we're happy he's in East Tennessee with us right now as well. Let's see. VFL in Texas said that's why players shouldn't choose the coach, because coach can leave. You're right. Go to the university. Don't commit to a place, not a person. Persons can leave. Places can't. Mina Leggy said those prints behind you would do well in the Volbro shop.
Except we don't own them, so that would be theft.
I'll have to go take photos or something up there. Let's see. Rhonda said that coach that left A&M is their Lane Kiffin. Yeah, I mean, it's a very comparable thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Schloss, I was shocked. I honestly, Jim Schlossnagle is a really good coach. He's been in it forever. I was very surprised at how he handled that whole situation. That was not typical for him.
Mississippi Vols said, it's a good point. He figured A&M would just say, hey, go ahead. We're ready to get over with it anyway. That's pretty funny. We did have a question come through earlier from Sam about basketball. So I'm going to go back to that one real quick. He said, is Barnes playing a shorter rotation partly due to NIL funding? I mean, there's no way for us to know for sure. I personally don't think so.
No.
I'm sure any coach would love to have 10 deep at least that they could run in and out and not lose talent.
If JP Estrella wasn't injured, he would have played 15 to 20 minutes every night. If Cam Carr hadn't left, he would have played 10 to 15 minutes every night. There's 10 guys right there. Bishop Boswell wasn't ready for this year. I mean, the plan was we're going to play those 10. Bishop gets the red shirt, and, it makes him better in the long run. Then JP goes down and never comes back. Cam flakes out and leaves in the middle of the night.
That's so bizarre.
And, all of a sudden we've got basically 8 players and Bishop Boswell. And all right, we're removing the red shirt. If we get in foul trouble, you're getting minutes now. So they would have gone 10 deep if things hadn't gotten crazy. But it's another reason why the transfer portal concerns me, because, again, we have 4 guys returning. We have probably 2 so far in the portal, so that's 6. We have 3 high school signees, 2 of which I guarantee you the plan is to redshirt. So really only one of those guys is going to contribute. So now we're at 7. We don't want to get in another situation like this year where dudes get injured and all of a sudden we have 8 or 9 players and that's it. So we really need 5 more players. We really need to get to 12. And I don't know that there's 5 guys in the portal right now that we want or would want. I think they're going to have to start raiding the international waters and going, okay, where's some random dude in Lithuania with 2 years of experience or 2 years of eligibility left? Come on down. You're now coming to Knoxville, Tennessee. We'll
John said, I wonder.
Pronounce it on the plane.
Yeah. John said, I wonder if Elander hasn't left yet because he doesn't want to be a head coach, or if he doesn't think he could be a good head coach yet. He said, I don't want Elander to leave, but I thought he would have had a head coaching opportunity by now.
So Tony Vitello, it's weird that he asked that question. I actually heard the answer to that today on a podcast. Tony Vitello did a podcast for the American Baseball Coaches Association like 4 months ago, and I just now had a chance to listen to it today. And he actually answered that question. He said that Josh Elander has gotten multiple offers to be a head coach, but that because of the resources that Tennessee has provided, Tony Vitello has been able to keep him, and that he knows that he's got a great thing going at UT. And when he gets a big opportunity offer, that he's probably going to take it. But Tony has done a good job building a bench of coaches and is very comfortable with when that day comes and Elander does become a head coach. He also made a really interesting comment. He said Josh Elander is loyal to a fault, and that he may have to tell Josh Elander to take that big job when the offer comes, because Elander may not take it. He may not leave.
Speaking of, Sam asked, isn't he the coach that would not return the pitch com? I'm not sure. Rhonda, like you mentioned that Rhonda had asked, does the portal opening, so the portal's open right now.
Mm-hmm.
The portal opened the Monday after the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Or no, the Monday before the Sweet 16. It was the weekend after. Yeah.
Because that kid from Michigan jumped in while they were heading to the Sweet 16. So it was the Monday of the Sweet 16.
So it's actually currently open right now. I'm not sure what typically, I think it's 3 weeks a window. So it's probably going to close in about a week and a half. But I could be wrong about that. But it is currently open right now. Rhonda said, anyone from A&M since Buzz left? We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Buzz is really good at taking guys with him. So if you see any A&M guys jump in the portal, they're going to Maryland. And Maryland made a point to say, because they wanted to refute. Kevin Willard held a press conference and kind of alluded that the NIL program at Maryland wasn't good enough, which was when he was actually talking to Villanova and pretending he wasn't. He was paving the way for that announcement. Maryland made a point to come out and refute that and showed that actually Maryland has one of the highest NIL programs in the entire Big Ten. And so, they wanted to make sure that everybody knew Kevin Willard was a liar. So Buzz is going into a really good situation with a lot of money in a conference that he's probably going to thrive in more than the SEC. And in a recruiting area that he has done extremely well in when he was, at Virginia Tech. So he has a lot of recruiting ties in the Maryland area. Inner city DC and Northern Virginia is just a hotbed of basketball talent. So he'll do very well at Maryland. And anybody you see from A&M jump in the portal, I would almost bet they're going with him.
Nick, welcome, buddy. Great to have you. We're glad you're with us. Let's see. Rhonda said, I thought the portal shut down for a few days. I don't believe so.
It's open till April 25th, so they got 22 more days.
Oh, wow. That's a long window then. You were talking about
this is the spring portal window, so it's intentionally long because they don't know when everybody's spring practice. It's solely for football. Other sports are taking advantage of it, but it's really about football. They make it intentionally long so that when spring practices end, players have a chance to sit down with coaches, see where they are on the depth chart, and decide if they're coming back or not.
Sam, you were talking about raiding Lithuanian teams and stuff like that. And if Santiago Vescovi knows anybody, Sam says, does Felix know anybody? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. That's pretty good. I like that. I do want to say this. So Rhonda and Minalaki mentioned
we need guards. So we need to kind of focus on Eastern Europe.
So Rhonda and Minalaki both mentioned our that print doing well in our store. I do have some news about our store. So we talked with Oak and Twine today, which, by the way, if you don't know Oak and Twine, they are the people who run our merch store. They have been fantastic to work with. They're really, really, really great folks. We found out today, we talked to them, there are Summit Blue merchandise is going to very soon be an option again on our store, which we're very excited about. So all these, Tony Goat shirts or the Home Sweet Home or In My Tony Era, all those different things are going to be available once again in Summit Blue. So we're very excited about that. That's coming your way. If you've noticed my hat, I'll take this out for just a second. If you've noticed my hat tonight, that puff embroidery, Richardson 112 puff embroidery with the goat and Tony Vitello's number 22 in the middle of it. If you've noticed that this evening, that is also on our site. It is available in two colors, smoky gray and dark mode. I've got the dark mode on my head. So would love it if you check that out. Really, honestly, truly is the best way to support the show, other than telling people about us and sharing our show with them. Would very much appreciate you checking that out. And thank you again to Oak and Twine for being such an awesome partner with us. Love those people. They're fantastic. You can find them on Instagram at Oak_Twine. And one of the, like Rustin and I have said before, one of the things we love about Oak and Twine is it is a small local business, family-owned business, family-run business right here in East Tennessee, right outside of Chattanooga in Ooltewah. And we would love it if you would support us and support them by purchasing something. I think Greg just said he just got some stuff. He said his Tony Goat and Home Sweet Home shirts came last week. That's what I'm talking about. That is awesome, Greg. I hope you love them. I hope you love the quality of them. Let us know what you think about them. Thank you so much, Greg, for ordering those. Thank you so much. Let's see a couple other questions that came through here. Herb said, "Do you think is there anyone on the current roster you could see leaving?" I hope not. I don't think so.
All four of them? No.
Well, because I mean, here's the thing: they know, like they got playing time waiting on them, so they're very excited about that. Greg said that his shirts were very high quality. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Greg, for that. That's good news right there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Jonathan said, "Do y'all think Barnes would go after that 7-footer from Arkansas?"
If you're too soft for John Calipari, you won't make it 5 minutes with Rick Barnes.
Rhonda said, "My son and daughter-in-law are planning to take my husband and myself to a Tennessee baseball game. The merch would be great." That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, you've got the In My Tony era stuff. You've got let's see, you got these awesome hats we were just talking about, the goat hats. You got that in a shirt as well. In My Tony era, we got TriStar, Everything School. What I'm talking about, battered vol syndrome survivors still out there. The our original OG design. So yeah, I mean that'd be awesome. Like you said, Summit Blue, good news for this redhead. Yep, it's coming. So I'm super excited about that. We'll obviously keep everybody posted as to when that's going to be there, but I'm super happy to have Summit Blue merchandise back on the shop. Elijah said, "If anyone returning enters the portal, we'd be in big trouble. No doubt about it, brother."
Yep.
Absolutely. I do have one other fun announcement. This Sunday night, as everybody knows, we go live Sunday and Thursdays at 9:00 p.m. Eastern. This Sunday night, Reed Carringer will be joining us. We're going to recap the men's and women's basketball season with Reed. If you'll recall, a couple weeks ago, heading into the Sweet 16, I asked Rustin, if the season ended that weekend, how would he rank on a scale of 1 to 10 their seasons? Well, now we know how the seasons ended, so I'm going to ask Rustin and Reed that exact question on Sunday night, and so that'll be a lot of fun to hear their answers. Like you said, we can attest to the superior quality of the Batter Vol Syndrome sweatshirt. Or Batter Vol Syndrome Survivor sweatshirt. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. I hope you love it. I hope you absolutely love it. Matt said UTC is currently tied with 3 minutes left in the first half. That's what I'm talking about. Go Mocs, baby. I'm gonna watch that tonight for sure. Brendan said, "Hey, Brendan, welcome, Goody. Good to have you. I'm glad you're with us, man." He said, "Nice, love hearing from Reed. Me too, man. I love it when Reed joins us. He's so wise and understands Tennessee athletics so well." Greg said, "Reed's a great guest. Totally agree. And like he's pumped about it too. So I'm looking forward to having. Go ahead, Rustin.
If any of you are going to the baseball or softball games this weekend, plan for traffic between construction and I don't know who made this mistake, but all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, baseball and softball are playing at almost the exact same times. And all 3 days, they will be playing at some point.
Either I'm frozen or you're frozen. One of the two. Can you say that one more time? Because it froze up on me there.
I don't know who messed up, but all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, baseball and softball are playing at the same time.
Oh,
so
that's not good.
Yeah, that's going to be the traffic nightmare of nightmares because there are already a lot of construction right there around Lindsey Nelson, and now add that on top. That's plan accordingly.
Gotcha. Folks will let me know it was on my end. I appreciate that. I had like a major cliffhanger. You said all 3 days and then nothing. And I was like, wait a second. Let's see. Jonathan said the noted Will Brooks hater is back. Hello, can't wait for Reed to be back on. He's a great guest. Absolutely, he is. 100%. Like my buddy Brennan said, absolutely. We love hearing from Reed. Fantastic guest. So he will be with us Sunday night, obviously we're going to have softball and baseball to talk about, 2 weekend series to talk about there. But then we are going to recap, now that a week has passed since basketball season ended. Now we'll be able to see, after taking a deep breath, surveying how the season went, objectively looking at here's how it ranked on a scale of 1 to 10. So we hope you join us Sunday night, and we hope you give us your rankings too in the comments. We'd love to hear that.
This is going to be an interesting weekend for Lady Vols softball. This Mississippi State team that's coming to town is no joke. I mean, to be candid, if Karen Weekly ever decided to retire, Mississippi State's head coach Samantha Ricketts would be my first phone call. She has gone into a perennial doormat in Mississippi State and turned them into a big-time program. And they've now had 3 straight years of high caliber winning. And this is going to be a test. Those 3 games in the softball stadium might be way better than the 3 games in the baseball stadium. This is a really good Mississippi State team.
Well, and that's exciting because we know the Lady Vols are up for the challenge after what they did last weekend, going to Norman and winning. Like Tyler let us know, they're only the 3rd team since 2006 to go into Norman, Oklahoma, and win a series. So that's incredible when you stop and think about it. So excited for the Lady Vols this weekend as well. Big Orange, welcome, great to have you. They say go Vols, absolutely. Herb agrees with you. She is a great coach at Mississippi State. Well, so big night Sunday night. We hope everybody joins us. Well, like I said, softball, baseball, and basketball. We're going to recap the basketball season. So we hope everybody has a great
Mm-hmm.
weekend. VFL said that was impressive when the Lady Vols went into Norman and won. Absolutely. Herb said he just hopes they win the series this weekend. Yeah, man, I agree totally. Like if you win the series, that was a good weekend. I totally agree. Elijah said, good night, bros. Hey, man, hope you have a great evening. Well, we hope all of you have a great evening. We hope you join us again on Sunday night. Obviously, we're looking forward to that show like we do every week. And we're looking forward to having Reed with us again, too. So there'll be 3 guys on the screen Sunday night. And we hope you're right there with us. Let's see. The last couple comments came through. Jonathan said, great show as always. Can't wait for Sunday. Hey, we appreciate that, man, so much. Thank you. Greg said, can Tony Lynn Barnes a few guys? They may need the depth. Matt said, go Vols, baby. Go Mox, baby. That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
There's a couple of dudes on the football team right now that were pretty highly recruited basketball players. We may have to go ask to borrow a couple.
VFL in Texas, hope you have a great evening as well. You too, Big Orange. You too, Mina Likey. We hope all of you have a great evening. Rhonda said, great show, guys. Looking forward to Sunday. Hey, we appreciate that so much, Rhonda. Thank you. We hope all of you have a fantastic evening. Go Vols, baby. And we will see you very soon on Sunday night.